Ай, сушка, не сушка, рушка. Рушка, рушка, рушка. Рушка, рушка. Тушка. Трушка. Турушка. Рыпишка, что тут будет? Халапеньо. Халапеньо. Очень интересно, да. Сильное питание. Еще не все, что такое, не ладно. Когда отлично. Что-то мы... Нельзя смотреть, потому что там только слушать наоборот. Он только смотреть и не слушать, да.
Perdre son temps, dilapider son argent, échouer à accomplir ses objectifs. Aucun entrepreneur n'est assez fou pour démarrer 2021 plein d'ambition et la...
Dear fellow scholars, this is 2-minute papers with Dr. Károly Zsolnai Fehér. In this paper, you will not only see an amazing technique for two-way coupled fluid-solid simulations, but you will also see some of the most creative demonstrations of this new method I've seen in a while. But first things first, what is this two-way coupling thing? Two-way coupling in a fluid simulation means being able to process contact. You see, the armadillos can collide with the fluids, but the fluids are also allowed to move the armadillos. And this new work can compute this kind of contact. And by this, I mean lots and lots of contact. But one of the most important lessons of this paper is that we don't necessarily need a scene this crazy to be dominated by two-way coupling. Have a look at this experiment with these adorable duckies, and below the propellers are starting up. Please don't be one of those graphics papers. Okay, good. We dodged this one. So the propellers are not here to dismember things, they are here to spin up to 160 RPM, and since they are two-way coupled, they pump water from one tank to the other, raising the water levels, allowing the duckies to pass. An excellent demonstration of a proper algorithm that can compute two-way coupling really well. And simulating this scene is much more challenging than we might think. Why is that? Note that the speed of the propellers is quite high, which is a huge challenge to previous methods. If we wish to complete the simulation in a reasonable amount of time, it simulates the interaction incorrectly and no ducks can pass. The new technique can simulate this correctly, and not only that, but it is also 4.5 times faster than the previous method. Also, check out this elegant demonstration of two-way coupling. We start slowly unscrewing this bolt and nothing too crazy going on here. However, look, we have tiny cutouts in the bolt allowing the water to start gushing out. The pipe was made transparent so we can track the water levels slowly decreasing, and finally, when the bolt falls out, we get some more two-way coupling action with the water. Once more, such a beautiful demonstration of a difficult to simulate phenomenon. Loving it. The traditional technique cannot simulate this properly unless we add a lot of extra computation, at which point it is still unstable. Ouch! And even with more extra computation, we can finally do this, but hold, and even with, at which point it is still unstable. Ouch! And even with more extra computation, we can finally do this, but hold on to your papers because the new proposed technique can do it about 10 times faster. It also supports contact-rich geometry as well. Look, we have a great deal going on here. We are seeing up to 38 million fluid particles interacting with these walls given with lots of rich geometry, and there will be interactions with mud and elastic trees as well. This can really do them all. And did you notice that throughout this video we saw a lot of delta t's? What are those? Delta t is something that we call time step size. The smaller this number is, the tinier the time steps with which you can advance the simulation when computing every interaction, and hence the more steps there are to compute. In simpler words, generally, time step size is an important factor in the computation time, and the smaller this is, the slower but more accurate the simulation will be. This is why we needed to reduce the time steps by more than 30 times to get a stable simulation here with the previous method. And this paper proposes a technique that can get away with time steps that are typically from 10 times to 100 times larger than previous methods. And it is still stable. That is an incredible achievement. So, what does that mean in a practical case? Well, hold on to your papers because this means that it is up to 58 times faster than previous methods. 58 times. Whoa! With the previous method, I would need to run something for nearly 2 months. Whoa! With the previous method, I would need to run something for nearly 2 months, and the new method would be able to compute the same within a day. Witchcraft, I'm telling you. What a time to be alive! Also, as usual, I couldn't resist creating a slow motion version of some of these videos, so if this is something that you wish to see, make sure to visit our Instagram page in the video description for more. This episode has been supported by Lambda GPU Cloud. If you're looking for inexpensive cloud GPUs for AI, check out Lambda GPU Cloud. They've recently launched Quadro RTX 6000, RTX 8000, and V100 instances, and hold on to your papers because Lambda GPU Cloud can cost less than half of AWS and Azure. Plus, they are the only cloud service with 48GB RTX 8000s. Join researchers at organizations like Apple, MIT, and Caltech in using Lambda cloud instances
Круглое видео. Нет, не видео. Ну так песок же выглядит. Правильно, да? Видишь, песочек такой, да? И это тоже как песок. Видишь, он песок посыпается. Сэндстоун. Видишь, он песок, вообще песок. Вот так. Птицы. Да не птички, наоборот. Вот так.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as you want, and you never need to pick up a camera or use any fancy editing software. With Doodly, you drag, you drop, you tweak some settings, and boom, video done.
Perdre son temps, dilapider son argent, échouer à accomplir.
Dear fellow scholars, this is 2-minute papers with Dr. Károly Zsolnai Fehér. Whenever we take a photo, we capture a piece of reality from one viewpoint. Or, if we have multiple cameras on our smartphone, a few viewpoints at most. In an earlier episode, we explored how to upgrade these to 3D photos where we could kind of look behind the person. I am saying kind of because what we see here is not reality. This is statistical data that is filled in by an algorithm to match its surroundings, which we refer to as image in painting. So, strictly speaking, it is likely information, but not necessarily true information. And also, we can recognize the synthetic parts of the image as they are significantly blurrier. So the question naturally arises in the mind of the curious scholar, how about actually looking behind the person? Is that somehow possible, or is that still science fiction? Well, hold on to your papers, because this technique shows us the images of the future by sticking a bunch of cameras onto a spherical shell, and when we capture a video, it will see something like this. And the goal is to untangle this mess, and we are not done yet. We also need to reconstruct the geometry of the scene as if the video was captured from many different viewpoints at the same time. Absolutely amazing. And yes, this means that we can change our viewpoint while the video is running. Since it is doing the reconstruction in layers, we know how far each object is in these scenes, enabling us to rotate these sparks and flames and look at them in 3D. Yum! Now, I'm a light transport researcher by trade, so I hope you can tell that I am very happy about these beautiful volumetric effects, but I would also love to know how it deals with reflective surfaces. Let's see together. Know how it deals with volumetric effects, but I would also love to know how it deals with reflective surfaces. Let's see together. Look at the reflections in the sand here, and I'll add a lot of camera movement, and wow, this thing works. It really works. And it does not break a sweat even if we try a more reflective surface or an even more reflective surface. This is as reflective as it gets, I'm afraid, and we still get a consistent and crisp image in the mirror. Bravo! Alright, let's get a little more greedy. What about seeing through thin fences? That is quite a challenge. And look at the tail wags there. This is still a touch blurrier here and there, but overall very impressive. So, what do we do with a video like this? Well, we can use our mouse to look around within the photo in our web browser. You can try this yourself right now by clicking on the paper in the video description. Make sure to follow the instructions if you do. Or we can make the viewing experience even more immersive with a head-mounted display where, of course, the image will follow wherever we turn our head. Both of these truly feel like entering a photograph and getting a feel of the room therein. Loving it. Now, since there is a lot of information in these light-filled videos, it also needs a powerful internet connection to relay them. Even when using H.265, a powerful video compression standard, we are talking in the order of hundreds.
Да, не смог. Представляешь себе, сколько всего дополнительно интересного можно делать? Вот. Сейчас. Ну, специалист.
Of megabits. It is like streaming several videos in 4K resolution at the same time. Compression helps, however, we also have to make sure that we don't compress too much so that compression artifacts don't eat the content behind thin geometry, or at least not too much. I bet this will be an interesting topic for a follow-up paper, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to not miss it when it appears. And for now, more practical light-filled photos and videos will be available that allow us to almost feel like we are really in the room with the subjects of the videos. What a time to be alive! This episode has been supported by Lambda GPU Cloud. If you're looking for inexpensive cloud GPUs for AI, check out Lambda GPU Cloud. They've recently launched Quadro RTX 6000 RTX 8000, and V100 instances, and hold on to your papers because Lambda GPU Cloud can cost less than half of AWS and Azure. Plus, they are the only cloud service with 48GB RTX 8000. Join researchers at organizations like Apple, MIT, and Caltech in using Lambda cloud instances, workstations, or servers. Make sure to go to lambdalabs.com/papers to sign up for one of their amazing GPU instances today. Our thanks to Lambda for their long-standing support and for helping us make better videos for you. Thanks for watching and for your generous support, and I'll see you next time.
18 миллионов рублей. Именно эту сумму я заработал за 1,5 года, и ты можешь также. Досмотри этот ролик.
Жидкий паук. Знаешь, какие жидкие пауки? Он алиновец. Большой, совсем больной, что ли? Больной дышак. Родин. Наверное. Ничего. Нет, ну вот нет. Ну вот это и есть у нас. А чё, в чем ваша проблема? А моя как будто бы моя проблема. Ну, хорошо, в чем моя проблема? Как будто бы? А, нет. Тут нет печатания. А где вещание-то? делать круглые. Круглое лицо, вид круглый. Верно. Название там написано. Какое одно и то же. Ну нет, наоборот. Да. Все время сижу. Тут метод самой штучки.
Dear fellow scholars, this is 2 minute papers with Káros Zsolnai Fehér. In this
Это вообще пипец. Так это прикольно.
Давайте покажу вам один из наших результатов продвижения. За 30 дней этот сайт автомобильной тематики попал в топ-1 и принес владельцу заказов.
After reading a physics textbook on the laws of fluid motion, with a little effort, we can make a virtual world come alive by writing a computer program that contains these laws, resulting in beautiful fluid simulations like the one you see here. The amount of detail we can simulate with these programs is increasing every year, not only due to the fact that hardware improves over time, but also the pace of progress in computer graphics research is truly remarkable. To simulate all these, many recent methods build on top of a technique called the material point method. This is a hybrid simulation technique that uses both particles and grids to create these beautiful animations. However, when used by itself, we can come up with a bunch of phenomena that it cannot simulate properly. One such example is cracking and tearing phenomena, which has been addressed in a previous paper that we covered a few videos ago. With this, we can smash Oreos, candy crabs, pumpkins, and much, much more. In a few minutes,
У меня есть для вас хорошая новость. Я запустил онлайн-курс бесплатный, где на протяжении 6 дней вы можете протестировать себя в роли инстаграм-маркетолога. Причем весь курс проходит в игровом формате. Вы выполняете задания проверяются реальными маркетологами. Во время обучения вы оттачиваете навыки, за которые уже можно получать деньги. Все, что вам нужно сделать, это просто перейти по кнопке «Подробнее» и забронировать участие в курсе.
Dear fellow scholars, this is 2-minute papers with Dr. QIWI-Wallet. You are in for a real treat today, because today, once again, we are not going to simulate just plain regular fluids. No, we are going to simulate ferrofluids. These are fluids that have magnetic properties and respond to an external magnetic field, and get this, they are even able to climb things. Look at this footage from a previous paper. Here is a legendary, real experiment where with magnetism we can make a ferrofluid climb up on this steel helix. Look at that. And now the simulation. Look at how closely it matches the real footage. Marvelous. Especially that it is hard to overstate how challenging it is to create an accurate simulation like this.
Ни хрена себе,
And
даже люди
the paper got even better. This footage could even be used as proper teaching material. On this axis, you can see how the fluid disturbances get more pronounced as a response to a stronger magnetic field, and in this direction, you see how the effect of surface tension smooths out these shapes. What a visualization! The information density here is just out of this world, while it is still so easy to read at a glance.
Зачем это надо?
Ну, да, ну, чё.
Что за глупость?